Hey guys, in this problem what I wanted to look at was problem number 11 from the study guide for exam 1. What we are going to be looking at in this particular problem is the idea of items that are being purchased at a checkout register, and it says that there's 4 items in all. So I know immediately that one of the things that I'm going to do is have to list down all of the quantities that this is working with. So we know that we're going to have item 1, we're going to have item 2, item 3, item 4, and item 5. Or actually, no, not an item 5, just 4 items. So what we're going to look at now as we're reading this is it's going to say the total amount of money spent was $7. So I know that total money spent was $7. And then it also says item 1 cost twice as much as item 2. So the value that item 1 currently has is that it costs twice as much as item 2. Then it says over here that item 3 cost 50 cents more than item 1. So item 3 cost whatever item 1 cost plus an additional 50 cents. And then it says right here after that that item 4 cost twice as much as item 3. So I take item 3, and it says that item 4 costs twice as much as item 3. So we multiply item 3 times 2 to get what item 4 is. And then it says, what is the total cost of each item? Well, basically, if you look at everything, the only thing that doesn't have a value out of any of our quantities here is item 2. So item 2 is actually going to be the value of x. Now, you don't have to pick x. You can actually pick whatever variable you'd like. But the important thing is that once you pick that value, you go back and you reassign any new values that we know. For example, item 1 says that it's 2 times the cost of item 2. Well, item 2 is now the variable x, so we know that item 1 is really the value of 2 times x, which is really just 2x. Item 2 we know is already x. Item 3 now is whatever the cost of item 1 is. So if we go all the way across on item 1, we know that item 1 is 2x. So this expression here now is going to be whatever the value was of item 1, which we now know is 2x, plus that additional 50 cents. So we're going to say plus the additional 50 cents. Now looking at the cost of item 4 says that it's 2 times whatever the cost of item 3 is. So looking at this, it's going to be 2 times the cost of whatever item 3 is. And looking at item 3 right here on this line and going all the way across, we get that item 3 is 2x plus 50 cents. Well, they want to know what's the price of each one of these items. So looking at this, we know that if we take the cost of item 1, which is 2x, plus the cost of item 2, which is x, plus the cost of item 3, which is 2x plus 50, plus the cost of item 4, that it should all come out to be $7. So let's actually write what that's going to look like. We know that the cost of item 1 is 2x plus the cost of, so there's item 1. I'm actually going to rewrite all this so that it's a little bit clearer. So we know that the cost of item 1 is 2x plus the cost of item 2, which is just x, plus the cost of item 3, which is 2x, plus 50 cents. 50 cents, helps if I write that as 50 cents, plus the cost of item 4. Now item 4 was $2, or 2 times 2x plus 50 cents. We know that if we add all of that up, and I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so that we can see what that looks like, we know that if we add all of that up, that we're going to end up getting a grand total of $7. So looking at collecting any like terms here, I know that all of my x terms can be collected. So I see an x term here, another x term here, one here, and then I'm also going to have to deal with this whole multiplication section here as well. So let's see what that looks like. 2 times 2x is going to give me 4x right here, and then this 2 times 50 cents is going to give me $1. So this is really just $1 right here. So looking at all of my x's, I get 4 x's here, another 2 x's, 1x, and 2x for a grand total of 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 x's. So this is going to give me 9x. And now I can take a look at my dollars. I get 50 cents from right here, plus $1 from right here for a grand total of $1.50. So this is going to be $1.50. Now taking a look at that, we can say that all of that when you purchase it has to come out to be $7. So coming down and taking a look at this, to solve this equation I'm going to subtract $1.50 from both sides. And that's going to leave me with 9x is equal to $5.50. So the question becomes, what is $5.50 here if I need to get x by itself? Well, excuse me, my throat is a little stopped up at the moment. If we divide by 9, that's going to cancel out the 9's right here and leave us with just x. So we need to do the same thing over here with the $5.50. So doing that, we're going to get $5.50 divided by 9, which comes out to be roughly 0.6111 repeating. So we know that x is approximately going to be 61 cents. Knowing that, I can now come back up and start answering the actual question that was asked up here with these item values here. So looking at this, if I take the 61 cents, which is x, and plug it back in, I know that I'm going to get a grand total here originally of this being 61 cents, which means that this right here is going to be 2 times 61 cents. And then looking at what that will give me here for answer number 1, or for item 1, 61 cents times 2 is just going to be $1.22. So I could just say that this is $1.22 right here. We already know that item 2 is 61 cents. We already know that item number 3 is 50 cents more than item 1. So that means that we just take the price that we got right here from item 1 and add 50 cents to it, which is just going to give us $1.72. And then we know that item number 4 is twice as much as item number 3 is. So if we take a look at item number 3 and just double item number 3, we know that we're going to get a grand total of $3.44. Now, if we look at all of this and we go $1.22 plus 61 cents plus $1.72 plus $3.44, just to double check our math here, $1.22 plus 61 cents plus 172 plus 344 comes out to actually be $6.99. And so the question is, where did that missing penny go? Well, this would be a great discussion question to have as an essay for your exam. And part of the reason that we have this issue here is because when we found the value of x, this x right here had all of these repeating decimals. And notice that when we decided to actually use it in a monetary sense, we couldn't use the repeating decimal right here. So the actual quantity x in this problem has an exact value that can't be represented by monetary funds. You can't have 0.001111 of a penny. So as a result of that, you can't get an exact value for what x really is to model this problem. But you can approximate it fairly closely and find out that item 1 is about $1.22, item 2 is about 61 cents, item 3 is about $1.72, and item 4 is about $3.44. And when you use all of those different prices, you end up getting $6.99 for your total, which is fairly close to the $7 that we needed for the overall problem. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in class tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you guys. Bye-bye.